Hey traders, thanks for joining us today. We've got Mike along today, so he's going to be taking you through system automation, some of the things that we need to be doing when we're managing our charts. He's going to take you through how to set your automation up properly, making sure that your strategies are running correctly, and how to view that to make sure that you haven't got strategy mismatches. And when you do get a mismatch on your system or your automation, how to get out of that mismatch. So we're going to do some practical examples here. So Mike's going to walk you through that whole process of managing your automation, and we're going to have a specific look at the trade manager, how we use that, the steps in using the trade manager, how to make sure that your system is in sync with the automation. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Mike, and he's going to walk you through the system automation presentation.
What I'll start off with is, we've basically got a few trades running at the moment, so we'll just kind of go through these, and I'll just kind of show you what I personally look for in my trade monitoring to make sure everything's on track. So this first, we've got no position on crude, so I'll just flick through the workspaces basically and go from there. So the Euro US, let's have a look at what we've got here. So does everybody know how to open your trade manager? I'll just start from scratch here as well. So you can go into trading apps, trade manager. This is what you need to have up when you're trading live. You want to be monitoring everything in here. Basically what I'll do is I'll change the status here to go to open orders only. So this will clean up all the previous orders so you can just get a quick glance of what's open. And let me just quickly flick through. I'll do it on this one as well. Yeah, so alright, this is the main screen that I'll keep an eye on. This true is basically showing that this. Alright, let's go back a step. The strategy trades on its own, and then the account follows what the strategy does. So basically, this tab is showing what the strategy is doing in this column, and then it's also showing what your account position is. Now, if these two match, so you've got short 100,000, short 100,000, then the position match is true. For the Euro Yen, you're flat, the strategy is flat, and the account is following by going flat, so it's true. So this is the most important thing to look for. If you have a false here, you'll have to work out what is right. Actually, let's play with this one. So the Euro Yen, we're flat. Let's open up our trade manager again. Same thing again, just filter open orders. This is just a different workspace, so that's why I've had to reopen the trade manager. So strategy positions. So Euro Yen. Euro Yen is flat, the strategy, and the open positions is flat, so everything matches, it's true. I'm just going to come in here and open a trade just to mess it up, and then I can show you how to fix it. So we can open the trading matrix. This is how I place my trades. It's easier than using the order bar up top. Always double check that you're in sim mode when you're playing around with things, and you should come in here and play lots and just try and work out how to fix things and get out of issues and problems that you might have. So I'm going to buy at market. And so we're in the market long 100,000, one lot. And let's open up the trade manager. So strategy positions. Basically, when you are trading, you're going to have the trade manager all set up on each workspace, all ready to go. So you're not going to have to open things up like what I'm doing here. Everything should be a glance. You should be able to flick through every tab and see the trade manager, kind of like that. Alright, so now I've entered in the Euro Yen, you can see that the position match tab is showing false. This is your first notification of an issue basically, so you basically want to try and work out what's going on, what's wrong. So we can see that our open position is long, 100,000, and our strategy position is flat. So this is where the mismatch is, as you obviously know because we just entered the market. But so basically to fix this, we just need to trade out. It's as simple as that. And what you'll see if you watch this, you'll see it will go back to true. And we've fixed the issue basically. So if you're trading your account and you've stepped away from the computer, you come back and this now says false. You just want to double check what is wrong. Do you need to enter a position or do you need to exit a position? And then open the matrix and just close out or enter the market. So let's do it the other way around. Let's do it in a market that we're actually meant to be long, but I'll flatten it out so that we can fix the problem. So Euro US. Actually, this is another problem. I'll touch on this in a minute. So Aussie US, I will just open up the trade manager again. Same thing again, this should be all set up for you when you're trading live, but I just wanted to leave things closed so that you kind of all know where to go and how to open things, and you get to see it happen a few times. So, strategy position of the Aussie US is meant to be short. So we're meant to be short in this trade, and we actually are short, as we can see here. So short 100,000, short 100,000, and it's true. Now I'm just going to go ahead and mess this up again so that we can fix the issue. So I'll open up the matrix, and let's just close the position. You do want to kind of make sure that you've got the right symbol, but just one thing with TradeStation is if you clicked on this chart and you open the matrix, it will open it with the correct symbol in place. And you also want to make sure that, alright, if you want to close a 100,000 position, you want to make sure it's the right quantity. So I'm just going to close this out. Now let's have a look at our trade manager. Aussie US, we're meant to be short 100,000, but our open position is flat. So our positions do not match, so it comes up as a false. So this is where we need to step in and take action to fix it. So back to the matrix, you can basically just make sure 100,000 going short, sell market, and you'll see we've come back into true. So that's as simple as it is to fix a position mismatch. And it can happen anytime in a mismatch, so you just got to keep an eye for this. I will touch on this pop-up in a minute as well. Alright, so the next tab that I look at, which I'll go to, which market was it? Yeah, the Euro US. So the next tab I look at is the strategy orders. Now the strategy orders basically show you what you can kind of see on the chart. So here you can see these lines, which is like this is a mess up. So this is what I'm trying to show you. There's two lines here. One showing your stop loss, and it's one showing a limit entry order. That limit entry order is not meant to be there because Let me try and show you this. Alright, Euro US, we're short. Now there shouldn't be a pending limit to enter the market here. There should only be a profit target. So let's have a look at our strategy orders, Euro US. So you can see here you've got your buy to cover, so your target. And now, so that's your strategy order tag. Now you want to go to your orders tab. Euro US. And we've got, actually we don't have this one pending. Yeah, so this is the 100,000 pending buy order, which shouldn't be in there. So I'm going to close this out, which you can, this is another way that you can execute trades. Basically, you can right click on the trade that shouldn't be there. You can go cancel. Let's go cancel all orders. Would you like to cancel orders? Yes. And so that's gone. So let's go back to our strategy orders. So Euro US, well, we've basically got no pending orders here, which is good because there shouldn't be that limit order to go long. Euro US. Now, what I'm going to do, hey Shane, what else do we want to go through there?
We wanted to basically, when we set up an order, just show traders how to get into the order if they haven't actually, if they're actually late into the order, or they put an order on and they want to get in sync with the market, and it doesn't automatically take the trade, then putting the buy or sell order on.
Kind of like what I when I traded out of that position to show flat and then entered again. Is that
so? Just say, for example, you decide, look, I really want to put this strategy on. I don't want to wait for another trade to set up, but I'd like to get into the order straight away. So how do I do that? And then once you put the order on, making sure that your stop's in place, because sometimes if you place the order, you've just got to refresh the chart just to make sure the stop comes on, and then you check that order, that stop order's in the orders tab.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, I'll show you how to get into a trade again here, which for the euro yen. So same thing again. We've come in. We've seen our strategy is meant to be short. Our open position is flat, and our positions match is false. So that means that we do need to go short to get in sync. This could happen, as Shane was saying. You could have just loaded up your chart to start trading for the day, and the strategy's already short, and you just want to get in sync with what's actually happening. So here you can just execute your trade, jump straight in. Sell market, you can see that you've come back to true. Just check the settings on this. All right, and then once we enter the market, we can go Control R to reload. As possible. Just wait for that to load. Here we go. Alright, so now that's reloaded, and the next bar is formed. It's put in the pending stop loss. Let's go back to the trade manager. So let's just run through the whole thing. Euro yen is short 100,000, short 100,000, true. So that's great. Strategy orders for the euro yen is 100,000. Let's expand that out. Buy to cover at 13862. So you can see here your buy to cover is 13862, and we'll go back to the trade manager again. So this is what your strategy orders should be doing, and your orders tab is what your account is actually doing. And you can see that you've got that same pending order right there, which shows that your stop loss is in place and ready to go. Now let's go to the other charts, and we'll set up that order as well.
Sorry, Mike, did you want to finish that, and then I've got a couple of questions that have come through?
Cool. Yep, no, that sounds good, Shane. Yeah, I'm just going to reload each chart just to send that pending order through on these other markets as well. So we've done the Euro Yen, now we'll do the Euro US. So Euro US, short, true, and it should have actually that one's not going to send anyway. Basically with TradeStation, it will only send the pending order when the market is close to it. It can't have two pending orders in at once, so it can't have a pending stop order and it can't have a pending limit order at the same time. So TradeStation basically just sends what's closest to the market, and it will normally come up with order held and also price when it's held and not sent. So let's just skip the Euro US and go to the, which one did we do? The Aussie. And we'll just go Control R. That's how you reload the chart, Control R. Now this is a pop-up which I'll just talk you through as well. So an open position exists. Do you want to close the position? No, we don't want to close the position. And basically on the next candle, your pending order will be put into place. On that note with pending orders, I personally don't use pending stop orders now because you can get double ups and issues with them sitting in the market. So we've put in a new filter in here. Where is it? Here we go. Market order stops. And if you turn that to true, all your stop losses will be market orders, so when price hits it, we'll mark it out. The issue with that is that there's not a pending order at the broker. But the pros of having that is that there's not going to be double pending orders at the broker in case like there's a chart reload and there's extra orders sitting on your chart and you haven't recognized that. So I personally moved to market order stops. That's kind of up to you guys with what you choose. You'll definitely have a lot less issues if you have this as false. I mean as true, sorry. But yeah, that's something for you to work out with your own risk management. Yeah, Shane, what else was there?
Okay, a couple of questions come through. So the first one was from James, and James is asking, what about being in a trade and the strategy does not exit properly? Is there a way to check the proper entries and exits for the strategies?
Proper entries and exits is basically, I always use visual. So let me zoom up on this. Zoom up on this one. So the solid kind of square arrows is what the strategy is doing. So here the strategy's gone short, strategy's gone long. And the rounded, Is this pretty clear coming through, Shane? So
Yes.
so the
Yeah.
so the rounded type arrows is what your account is actually doing. So hopefully you can see that. Let me see if I can. Yeah, basically you can see the strategy arrow, this one here, and the rounded arrow is your actual account arrow. So visually I can look in and I can see two arrows. I can see the strategy's gone short and the account's gone short. So I can straight away know that the account is doing what the strategy should have done. Let's see where the next one is. So here again, you can see the two arrows, the squarish one and the rounded one. So the strategy is entered and your account's followed basically. You can see the strategy entered here, the account entered here. Now that's basically due to your spread. Does that clarify that, Shane?
Yep. Fantastic. Next question is from Kim. Mike, do the open. Okay, to open a chart and open position exits, and you have to match it. So, I'm not sure what that. You might have to write that again, Kim. I'm not sure what you're asking there. So, if you open a chart and I'm assuming you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, when you open a chart and there is a strategy open, then yes, you do have to match it. So basically the answer to that question is, if I open a chart and there's a strategy order that's live in the market that actually I'm not in at the moment, then I do have to match that, because if I don't match it, and you might be able to confirm this, Mike, that then the strategy's out of balance. So you'll have a pending order, but normally what happens with TradeStation is when you open the chart up, it'll ask you if you want to enter the position. It won't always do that, but a good percentage of the time it will. And then you've got the option to manually enter that position, or it'll automatically do that for you once you select the box to enter into the market. Does that make sense? Hopefully that I've explained that properly, or clearly, I should say.
Yeah, I think it's kind of what we showed before, isn't it, Shane? As in, if your positions show a false match and your strategy is actually short, but say your open position is flat, so you need to jump in and fix that. So I've just traded out of this one so that we can fix it again. But it's the same process again. So you've just started up your charts. You can see that your strategy is short. Your account, you just need to get in sync basically. So that's just go short.
Yeah, Kim's saying that two boxes come up. The two boxes that come up, one are.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So do you want to talk to that, Mike?
Let me just bring that up. I could only get one box to appear before. About cancelling the pending order.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is, let me see if I can try and get this to happen. Which markers do I have pending orders on? I don't have any markers of pending orders right now, but yeah, there's two boxes that will pop up. Actually, here it is. Let's try this now. Let's go Control R one more time. All right, here we go. So an open order exists. Do you want to cancel the order? Basically, yes, you always want to cancel the order, because if you don't cancel the order's going to stay there, and your strategy is going to send another order. So you're going to be doubled up basically. So when that stop loss is hit or that target is hit, you're basically going to go in the opposite direction. So this is one of the two checkboxes warning boxes that comes up. So cancel the order. This is just your loading of data. And then on your next bar is going to place the new order in place, basically, ready to go. Does that sound all right, Shane?
Yep. So could you just talk to what happens when we get a reconnection issue? Because James is asking if you have a reconnection issue, what do you have to check to see if the strategy is still working? So that's a really good question because this happens. This happens not only during your session, but can happen and does happen every morning at 7:15 or 7 o'clock when the brokers do their end of day processing. So one thing that does happen is that your the market closes for 15 minutes. So that's like having a connection issue with TradeStation. So that requires
Yep.
the strategy to be reset.
Okay, so a reconnection in the morning. Basically, all your orders that TradeStation sends through the broker are day orders, so they're going to time out at the end of the day. When the next session opens, well, you're not going to have the orders in place. So you want to reload your charts, which will resend the orders, basically. So right now, let me just cancel this order, just so I can show you. So I'm going to cancel that. So we come in when the market opens again. Same thing again, we go back to our trade manager screen, Euro Yen. Now we can do the first check. So we're short and we're short, so it's true. Positions are matching, that's fine. Strategy orders for the Euro Yen. So the Euro Yen should have a buy to cover. Now we can check if that buy to cover is here under the strategy orders. We can see nothing's there. And we can also see that there's nothing on the chart showing that your buy to cover order is in place. So same thing again, Control R, and it's just going to reload your chart. Just wait for that to. Just give it a few seconds to load up. And we'll see the new order appear in the orders tab in a sec. Now this time we won't get that warning box about the pending order because we didn't have a pending order. Let me just change back to that tab. You should see it come up once that bar closes. There we go. So the Euro Yen, we've got our pending order to close position basically in there. You can see that it matches up with your strategy orders, Euro Yen, and you can also go back and check that that matches again. This is the most important screen. Alright, Shane, what else do we have?
Excellent, Mike. Good stuff. Okay, so James is asking, can you talk about the sub updates and when the strategies will stop working? How soon to update? You know, when you get a sub update, you have to run the sub update straight away. What can happen with the sub update as far as the strategy working, not working? What's the quickest and easiest way to re-engage the strategy once it stops working? We send a sub update because sometimes when obviously you load the sub update, it doesn't automatically turn on. So is there a little tip or trick to get the strategy working, and what's the best way to do that?
Okay, yeah, the sub updates would normally be sent out 3 or 2 days before the end of the month. If this is not, well, basically install it as soon as possible, and that will cover you. You won't have any issues at all. If you don't install it, well, import it, everything will stop working kind of on the first of the month. So if this is the case and everything does stop working, and you open up your chart and nothing is working, basically the quickest way to mess things up is kind of by saving your workspace. So if you open your chart, nothing's working, do not save your workspace. Just close your workspace, find the sub update, install it, and then open up your workspace and you'll be good to go. Now, if you, same thing again, if you don't install your sub update and you open your workspace and you save it, basically all it's going to do is not a biggie anyway, but it's just one extra step for you. It's going to come in here and TradeStation is going to basically turn these off. So it's just going to, the status is just going to be off. And you're just going to have to come in here, click on your strategy that you need to run and turn the status back on. But in saying that, the quickest, easiest way to not worry about that is just, as soon as you load out your chart and you see you need a sub update, just close your workspace, don't save it, import your sub update, and then open your workspace and you're good to go. What else do we have, Shane?
Excellent, Mike. Can I just add something to that? With I've noticed with the sub update, sometimes if you load the sub update, it may not work straight away, so you might need to load it a second time. And the other little tip to that process is also making sure that, you know, if it doesn't load the first time, maybe run the all systems and then the sub update, ELD, and then that usually resets everything and gets it working. Would you agree with that, Mike?
Yeah, no, that's right. Just try it again, basically, and make sure it is the latest sub update, that you're not trying to install last month's sub update or anything like that. Also, whenever you do install the all systems ELD, you do want to do the latest sub update. You can't do last month's sub update because it's still not going to work. You have to always find the latest sub update.
Excellent. So Chris is just asking, with the sub update, is that set to the midnight computer time on the 1st of the month, or is it set to, or the 31st or whatever, 30th, or is it set to a certain geographical time, or what does it normally run off?
I believe, I can't remember now. With us being on, well, if you're Australia or New Zealand, it's an advantage, so we get use of the strategy for a little bit longer, I believe.
Okay.
So it's more US based time.
Now, if you are a trader who is just trading one strategy, so you're just trading the trend, and that's all you want to trade, and you're not obviously one of the ongoing members, you can basically have your systems unlocked and sent to you so you don't ever use the sub update. The reason why we have the sub update in place is so that as we develop more and more systems, you get access through your membership to all these different systems. So it's important for us to make sure that we're providing systems as an ongoing feature, and part of that is making sure that, you know, we give access to all our systems, but it's also, you know, that we don't just generally create systems every couple of months or 3 or 4 months, and we'll just keep doing that forever and a day. So part of the process is we have the sub update, so that if you decide that you don't want to be part of the membership, or you just want to lock in one system and that's it, you just want to trade that strategy, you can certainly get that system unlocked and you don't have to do a sub update again. So a couple of other questions here. This is really good, like the questions coming through are fantastic. How about the settings on the format strategies window on the properties for all tab automation? So could we just do a quick walk through this? Now this is in the FAQ document, and Mike's going to just explain why these settings are so important.
All right, so I assume this is the tab that you're talking about.
Yes.
So this is from all our testing. This is the best settings we've come up with. So everything you see here is how we set it up. Strategy will fill non-historic orders based on price activity. So it's based on what the chart is doing, rather than what your account is doing. We found this is easiest because dealing with the account can kind of lead to double ups and all that stuff. So what we see is what we get, basically. We trade the chart, we trade what we see on the chart, kind of thing. We try not to complicate any more than that. This is just showing that this first tick mark is for limit orders. So basically, if the limit order isn't filled within 1 second, it's just going to go market. So it's just going to make sure we keep in sync, and that trade manager tab stays true all the time, basically. So all this we ignore because we don't deal with that. Stop orders. This is basically TradeStation's way of just sending the stop order directly to TradeStation so that you've got your pending order in place. Same thing again, if we are discussed in the strategy there, we can turn stop orders off and market orders on, which is the way I'd rather do it. But if you're using pending stop orders, you definitely want to have these two checked, or else you're going to run into all sorts of issues. You can have a read through this yourself and kind of work out what it kind of means. It's hard to, let me just have a quick look again. Yeah, so same thing again, this is an override. Basically, if your order's rejected, it can kind of market order to make sure things still stay in sync. This is kind of a new feature of TradeStation in the last few years. Before it, we had all sorts of issues. So TradeStation is always a work in progress, and it's getting better and better, but there are little things that we have to keep an eye on, and we always have to monitor it, really. Now, what else do we have in here? All this doesn't really relate to general automation. Does that cover what you're after, Shane, there?
All good. The other thing that we've got another question here from Richard. Oh, sorry, from James. What would cause a strategy to show up on the chart but not open the trade even when the automation is turned on? Because this has happened to James a couple of times. So he's basically trading, his automation's on, everything's set up, and a trade should have triggered but it didn't trigger.
Basically the first thing is go to your messages tab, and hopefully it will start to fill you in with what is going on. I don't think we've really had any rejected orders or anything here, but normally the order will be rejected maybe due to the market not being fully open, or there been some issue with your connection and TradeStation. There's many different things, and it's kind of a case by case that the user kind of needs to go through and just work out what's happening. It could be your account margin requirements, anything really there. So we can't just say straight up this is the issue. But your first tab is go to your messages tab, work out there. If it's something you need to deal with TradeStation, give them a call and have a chat to them. Otherwise, you can just go ahead and place the order manually and get back in sync. And maybe it was just a slight disconnection before when the strategy tried to do it. Now you can get in manually. If you're still having issues, you're definitely going to get a message basically telling you what the issue is, and you can kind of go from there. Does that clarify that, Shane?
Yep, all good. I think that's about it. I think that's pretty much all the questions that have come through. Excellent stuff on the questions. Yeah, that's about it. Anything else you wanted to cover, Mike? Or
all right, I'll just go through a few more little things. Just one thing when we do turn on automation, So before we even do get in sync and stuff, I mean, there are these warnings that pop up as well, and I mean, we do need to accept this and monitor these properly. This is probably the key wording in this. It's our responsibility to monitor the trading activity in our account at all times. It's not a set and forget type thing. You got to be at least around. You can't just kind of disappear for the day and expect it to make you money while you're away, basically. So still needs to be a bit of hands-on action. You still need to keep an eye on things. Things can happen. I mean, you can get rejected orders, pending orders can expire, the markets can close. you can get all sorts of issues really, loss of connection, the computers might crash. So you got to be around to take responsibility for what's happening basically there. And I mean, you're going to be asked twice for that basically, so to make sure you know what you're doing there. The other thing that I'd like to touch on is alerts. Let's just go agree, close. Now my trade host offers alerts which will tell you when you've got a position mismatch. It will also tell you if your computer loses connection or even if your computer crashes. So there are the two alerts that I would highly recommend and you should really use unless you're sitting in front of your computer. So you'll get an alert saying that there's a mismatch, or you'll get an alert saying that your computer has gone offline for any number of reasons really. You can, I think Shane's got all that info there for my trade host to contact them and set things up there. There's another alert which we can do, which I also set up in the back end of TradeStation. Trade Manager. And it's basically here, it's email alerts. So I have two alerts. Let me just set this up to show you. Turn off all these. Yeah, there's two email alerts I set up. I set up field order and enable email notification. Now you can set, it depends on your email provider, so everybody's kind of different. If you can't quite work out how to set it up, I mean, there's the help feature here which will guide you a bit. Kind of what to put in there. It's got the common things. If you don't have kind of a common email provider, just set up a simple Gmail account. That's easy enough to do. Tells you what name servers to put in there, the protocol, the port, which you can kind of see here. So you can put your email address in there, your email address again. You can put the name server in the spots. You want to put your email account name or your email address in there and your password again, and you just follow through. So protocol is SSL and the port is 465. So you can 465. And then you can do a test and it should send you an email. If it doesn't send you a test email, you might just need to tweak a few things. But it's kind of case by case again, because there's so many different email providers there. Use the help section as much as you can. But if you're having issues with your own provider, just set up a simple Gmail account and follow along there. It's simple enough. Now the reason why I set this up is it basically gives me an idea of what's been traded at what time. So I set up a field order, and I also set up strategy field order. So enable email notification. So there's two emails that could possibly send through. Now the first email that should come through will be a strategy field order, and then the second email pretty much instantly afterwards should be the field order. Now if I'm away from the computer, I can see my emails come through. If I see two emails come through, one being the strategy field order and then the actual field order, well, that means that my strategy has done what it's meant to be doing. I mean, my account has done what it's meant to be doing. It's followed their strategy. So same thing again here. If you go back to the charts, you've got your two arrows. You've got your strategy arrow and you've got your account arrow. Yeah. And basically, if you've got two arrows, then things are in sync. Same here, if you've got two emails, then you kind of know at a glance of your email account, you can see that your account has followed your strategy, basically. So that's kind of the two alerts that I'd have set up. One's instant that you can just do through TradeStation, and the other one is through a third party. which I also recommend because they have the ping service which will let you know if your TradeStation has crashed or if your computer's crashed or anything like that with your connection, whereas emails will obviously not be able to be sent from TradeStation if those issues happen. I think that's kind of everything, Shane, that I wanted to cover there. Does that make sense? Is there any questions on the email setup?
No, that was it. James is just saying that's a really good resource, so that we'll have to kind of start utilising that. But apart from that, guys, that's pretty much about it. Thanks for your time. Thanks for running through the session as well, Mike. That was fantastic. I'll have this uploaded for recording
no problem at all.
tomorrow, so you guys can review it, and I'll shoot out an email just to let you know when that's done. But thanks again, and definitely you probably want to view the recording at least once just to get used to kind of what the process was, because obviously just going through it again and doing a few of the examples yourself on your screen will make a huge amount of or will have a huge benefit to getting used to practicing getting in and out of the market, closing orders out, setting orders up, putting orders on, or putting strategies on that are in a trade, and you need to get back in sync with the market. So that's a really good little tool. So thanks, Mike. Thanks for your time, and thanks, traders. And we'll catch you later tonight, everyone, for our normal session. Cheers.
All right, thanks a lot. Cheers.